in psychology, there is something called irrational belief. What it means is that we all have.
But according to you, why do we get angry?
There are two main reasons why people get angry. So, first of all,
So, what exactly happens when we get angry and how this anger is associated with happiness?
we think we are naturally responding to a situation rather than controlling our emotions, but this is what is happening inside your body.
So, I have read somewhere everything that begins with anger ends with regret. How can we control our anger?
To understand envy and jealousy in a better way, first of all, we have to understand that envy and jealousy are two different emotions.
We often see other people getting jealous of us.
Yeah.
So, how do you think we can control that?
Recently, I heard something on social media.
Hello, and welcome to the new episode of our podcast, From You to You. Here, we discuss all the possibilities of becoming the best version of you physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. I am Afreen Khan, an internationally certified yoga teacher and a healthy lifestyle coach.
Hey there, I am Shireen Khan and I am a certified life coach.
Shireen, 2025 is just around the corner. How do you feel about it?
To be honest, I am excited because obviously there are some plans, and every year gives you a new start to, shed off what was not working in the past year and then start fresh. So I'm looking forward to it, and also somewhere like little bit sad because there are a lot of plans that I had made, and I feel like time is just slipping away from hands, and there was not enough time to do everything. So yeah, mixed bag of feelings, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I won't call it sadness, but for me, I'm a little bit overwhelmed because last year, I mean, still, it's 2024. Uh, I made a few resolutions and I think could not really follow through all of them. And this is natural. We can't really achieve everything that we decide in that given time.
Yeah.
But obviously, that will go to next year, and a few new things will add up. But I was just going through my journals for past couple of years. There is a pattern like I'm like trying to achieve more of material things, or I would say my resolutions every year include material gains, right?
Of
And
course.
although the final outcome which I'm expecting out of those things is happiness, right?
Yeah.
So basically, we all are striving, we all are trying to get happy, become happy, and lead a happy life.
Of
That's
course.
the ultimate goal. But we don't really work actively towards happiness. So I just thought we need to make an episode where we discuss couple of things which are extremely important towards happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, things which are easy, simple, and cost you nothing but some amount of discipline only. And these habits or these secrets are equally useful for everyone, every gender and every economic class and any age. So that's what I feel that we should be talking about today.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. And what you said about, every year we made plans to achieve something which is like maybe, buying a home or buying a luxury car. If you have one car, buying another car. I think all of us do that and we keep that in mind. But working actively towards happiness, that is something we all forget to do. So, yes, I am glad. Let's discuss some of the things that we can do which will give us like instant happiness and anyone can do that. We don't have to invest a lot of money in doing so. Since we are talking about habits, let's talk about two habits that we can get rid of in year 2025, and two habits that we can do more of.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a good balance. So let's first discuss the habits we want to get rid of.
Of
Okay,
course.
so according to you, what is that first thing we should get rid of in 2025?
So I wouldn't say get rid of, because it's human nature that I'm talking about, and it is like not completely possible to get rid of, but my aim is to completely manage it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so let me rephrase my question then.
yeah.
So in 2025, according to you, what is that first habit we should control or
Develop.
develop to manage it better?
Yeah. So I am talking about catabolic emotions here. So first thing that comes to my mind is anger.
Yeah,
So, as small as it seems, because I'm sure as soon as I said anger, in your mind you thought, what about anger? It's natural. We all get angry. What's big deal in that? It is not as simple as that, because it might sound like a normal emotion that we all have, but it has lasting impact on our health, which is physical health, mental health, and happiness as well. So I think first thing first, we are talking about managing our anger in a better way.
right. But according to you, why do we get angry?
There are two main reasons why people get angry. So, first of all, we have to understand anger. So, when we are talking about anger as an emotion, it is never a singular emotion, means like anger itself is not an emotion. So, we are expressing anger when we are experiencing different emotions, like when we are feeling vulnerable, when we are feeling helpless, maybe when we are feeling fear, or maybe anxiety, we are not feeling safe. So in all these situations, the reaction would be anger. Okay, in psychology there is something called irrational belief.
Right,
So what it means is that we all have certain expectations from the world around us, and from the people around us, and with ourselves. So for example, if you are participating in, say, any party or in an event, and there are some people that are going to be around you, so you automatically expect that they should respect you, okay, and they should make you feel special, obviously.
yeah,
And they should treat you in a certain way, they should talk to you in a certain way, you should feel respected and celebrated, right? So where is it written that they will behave like this with you, right? It is just an assumption that people should behave in a certain way with you.
expectation.
Expectations. And in a similar way, we have certain expectations from ourselves, like you should lead a certain type of life, you should have a certain type of lifestyle, and you should achieve something. You even have given yourself age limits, that by this age I should be achieving this, and I should have this, I should have these material gains and all of that. So these are not written rules, and these are something we automatically assume that we should be getting. So when we have these kind of expectations, we are getting really, really unhappy and angry when expectations are not being met.
Right,
Other people are human too, right? Like how we are. And it is not possible for everyone to fulfill all your expectations at all times.
right,
And that makes you angry because you are not getting what you were willing to get. Similarly, even with yourself, we are talking about some resolutions that we made last year, but we were not able to keep. How does that make you feel? Angry with yourself, right? Because you expected them to be completed. We have to understand two parts of anger. Okay, first thing, when we say anger, we are not talking all the time about rage, like where we are getting very aggressive. Anger in terms where you feel a little bit uncomfortable within you, and it is shown on your face with maybe flared nostrils or some form of change in your expressions.
right,
So we are talking about even the mild anger. So obviously we all experience that. when expectations in general are not met. We are also talking about people who are chronically angry. Okay, so their case is little bit different than what we discussed just now. Growing up, if people have not experienced enough love, they have not felt safe, and they have not felt like they have been cared by their parents or immediate caregivers, so they will develop feeling where they feel like nobody cares for them, nobody loves them. So in that case, the psychology is like they will be angry perpetually.
Right.
So the reason of the anger could be even childhood neglect.
So, what exactly happens when we get angry and how this anger is associated with happiness?
When we get angry, our blood pressure rises, okay, heart rate increases, and body takes anger as stress.
Right.
And we all know that when we are stressed, stress hormone cortisol gets released and body gets into fight and flight mode. Okay, so sometimes anger is good because if you have experienced mild anger and your fight and flight mode is activated, so the same system will help you in taking an action to any threat that you are experiencing. So it is good to experience anger sometimes, but what happens if you are experiencing anger again and again? It increases your blood pressure again and again, and then it is not good for your heart health.
Right.
Not only that, your brain and your is in constant communication with each other. Okay, and when you experience anger more often, your gut health gets ruined, and you might experience stomach pain, diarrhea, and different sorts of intestine related disorders. Okay, nowadays I hear from a lot of people that they experience gut related issues. Their digestion is not proper, or they experience acidity, and most of these people are the ones, they are into high stress jobs. Okay, and that causes them to get angry more often.
Yeah.
At their colleagues, because especially the people who are into a leadership role or in a managerial position, they feel like if they don't get angry enough with their colleagues, nothing can be achieved.
Yeah.
So they express the anger even more intensely than probably they are feeling, without even realizing how it is affecting them. Not only this, long term anger can result in inflammatory bowel diseases, which is IBD, and even irritable bowel syndrome, which is IBS. It is extremely dangerous because we think we are naturally responding to a situation rather than controlling our emotions, but this is what is happening inside your body.
Yeah, you are right. So I have read somewhere everything that begins with anger ends with regret. I think it's very profound because when we are angry, we don't know what we are doing. It's like our mind completely lose control, and like you just said, it has not only a major impact on your physical health but overall mood. I was working in corporate companies, and I remember there were a couple of seniors and they had these anger issues. Like you just explained, they are like shouting and screaming every day for some or the other task it's not done. And they themselves used to say this, that okay, you guys made me so angry, and then later I had to take a pill for blood pressure. So this
Wow.
is what they are doing, and I think we really need to be careful there, because mental health and your overall happiness are closely connected. So if someone is putting themselves in such kind of pressure on daily basis,
Yeah.
which is also high blood pressure, heart condition, aggression, anger, and all of these things, then
Yeah.
I think happiness is kind of a distant dream then.
Yes, of course, well said. That's what happens because um, we think that we are getting the job done, but at what cost? Your
Yeah.
own health's cost. We are discussing happiness here, and this is about physical health and even mental health. What about the relationships with people?
Yeah.
That is a big part of our happiness, and if we are able to maintain good relationship with people around us,
Yeah.
obviously that will give us a lot of happiness. And forget about colleagues. Okay, some part of the day we are being angry with them, but angry people, especially the perpetually angry people, when they go home, this anger continues even
Yeah.
with the people at home. So no one wants to be in your company. And to be honest, like, no one has even time to understand what's going on with you, because we label. As soon as we see someone reacting with anger once or twice, we are like, oh, this is an angry person. I don't want to deal with them. If you are an angry person, you have to accept that loneliness might be your fate.
Wow, that's a huge price to pay. Um, Now that we understood how important it is to control your anger, so what is your take on that? How can we control our anger?
Whenever you are experiencing anger, you should not react immediately. So take a deep breath and then understand why the person has gotten angry. It seems like a lot. You can, develop a habit slowly. I'm talking about emotional intelligence here. So if we understood our own triggers, why we get angry, it would be easier for us to understand why other person is getting angry as well. And then just not saying the first sentence that comes to your mind when you are angry, keeping quiet, and then forming your response, which could be more productive, which
Yeah.
could be more anabolic, would help you not express your anger and not even experience the symptoms that we just now discussed related to anger.
Yeah. In yoga, we say when anger increases, watch your breath, because by breathing properly, we kind of control anger, because what happens is the moment anger increases, blood pressure increases, and our mind is like out of control. And the moment we start mindful breathing, then your mind kind of gets focused there, and you get into a meditative state. So basically, the breathing or breath is the king of your mind, and mind is the king of all your senses. So this is how it works. So in yoga, we say, okay, the moment you get angry, focus on your breathing and take yourself away from that situation which is
Yeah,
making you angry,
of course.
and focus. It takes a few deep breaths, and it works. It really
It
does.
does work. It is kind of an immediate thing that you can do as soon as you experience anger.
Yeah.
Just by keeping quiet for some time and formulating your response, you can save yourself a lot of really bad situations that could happen if you would say the first sentence that is coming to your mind when you are angry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most of the time, we experience anger because we find it hard to accept other people. I have heard this a lot when people say that this person is very slow, it makes me very angry. Or, this person talks a lot, it makes me very angry.
Yeah, you're right. And some people are like, that person didn't do anything to me, but the moment I look at him or her, I feel angry. This
Yeah.
is, I think, very low tolerance towards other human being,
Yeah.
and we really need to work on that.
Of course. So accepting yourself and
Yeah.
others is the answer for this. I read it somewhere. I don't remember now where I read it. I think during my coach training, I have read it in the syllabus. When you look at other people and something makes you angry, it is an indicator that you have that habit in you. And I have done a lot of experiment on this. There was a time, I used to feel very angry when I look at people who are not disciplined. The reason behind it is that discipline was a challenge for me. I wanted to be disciplined, but I was not able to be disciplined. And when I would look the same quality in other people that they lack, it would make me angry at them. So it was like I was projecting what I lack. I was seeing it in other people, and it was kind of me getting angry at myself, but I don't know that.
But you're projecting your anger
On
onto
other people,
others.
because it is, it is human nature. It is very difficult to see the flaws in us,
Yeah.
and it's very easy to see the flaws in other people.
Wow, that's
So
profound.
yeah, so when I read it, it changed my whole perspective. So now whenever anything makes me angry, I am like, do I have this too?
That is profound and is part of psychology as well.
Now we have established that Basically, Afreen, we all are the same. If we are talking about humans, in my opinion, we all are the same. We all experience similar feelings. We all experience happiness, sadness. We all get hungry, angry, different combinations of emotions. But at the end of the day, we all are the same. If we understood this, we will judge people less. Because when we are judging, the basic feeling underneath judging is we have already assumed that we are better than other person. So we have to understand that nobody is better than nobody. Okay, we all are the same. Okay, some people still need to work on some of the skills, and you have already worked on those skills. That does not make you a better person. That just makes you an aware person. So if you understood that, you will judge people less, and at the same time, you have to judge yourself less as well, because we are constantly comparing ourselves to other people who are more ahead of us in terms of success, and we are judging that and being very very harsh to yourself as well. So if you understood these two things, then there won't be judging, and if you stop judging, it won't make you angry. Another thing you can do to control your anger is like handle the situation assertively rather than getting aggressive. For example, say if your partner is not participating in cleaning around the house or cleaning in the house, and that makes you angry. So rather than bottling up the anger and then bursting and saying things and blowing it out of proportion one fine day, you should sit down as soon as you are experiencing anger, and you should let your partner know how you are feeling about this situation, and maybe divide the chores if at all, if it is possible. So finding a solution to the situations rather than piling it up and making it bigger would help. Understanding other people, so also having empathy, understanding the situation. So if someone is getting angry with you, then understanding that person's situation as well, why they are experiencing anger, and letting go, not letting the ego come in the way while you are responding to an angry person, would help you control, because it is automatic. If someone is talking to you angrily, even you will feel anger, right? So if you let go, then maybe you will not experience anger yourself as well. Last but not the least, which many of us forget to do these days, we are watching a lot of violent movies and content that creates anger in us.
Yeah.
So not watching as much of such content and watching something peaceful that gives you happiness rather than anxiety and anger.
Yeah, I think all these things which we are watching day and night, reading, watching, discussing, all of these things, these are like food to our brain. And whatever that we are feeding it, it is absorbing it and becoming the same way. So, yes, that's a very sensitive and very important point that you've mentioned. We really need to stop watching violent stuff, reading about it, even
Yeah, even news for that
yeah,
matter.
news, listening, media, everywhere. So violence should be kind of restricted as a brain food.
Of course, couldn't agree more.
Shireen, very well explained topic about anger, and we all needed to know that. But there is one more emotion which I feel is extremely catabolic, sometimes even more than anger. I experience it, you experience it, and everybody does. That is jealousy and envy. Okay, so I often feel every time when I get jealous, whatever amount, that doesn't matter, or whatever amount of time, I immediately stop feeling happy. Okay, so jealousy kind of robs me of my happiness. So, what is your point of view about that?
To understand envy and jealousy in a better way, first of all, we have to understand that envy and jealousy are two different emotions. We often say jealousy even when we mean envy. So,
Okay.
now what's the difference between these two? When we are talking about jealousy, it is usually a three people emotion. Good example would be a love triangle where two girls love the same guy, but the guy loves back only one of the girls. So here the other girl is jealous of the girl who has the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, as simple as that. And envy would be you want something that other person has. Let's take very simple and basic example. Your friend has a better car than you and you want the car too, right? So you experience envy. The purpose is not to give you a vocab lesson, but it is important to understand what exactly is the emotion if you want to handle them in a proper way. Yeah, so yes, jealousy, like you said, is a very, very common feeling and it is extremely catabolic as anger, and even it has the same symptoms as we experience in anger as well. When we experience jealousy, physiologically speaking.
Okay.
So, yeah, both of these emotions are, we feel very, very natural and we can't control them, but it is in very much our hands to control.
Okay. And why do we get envious or jealous in general?
Jealousy can convey a lot of things. Let's use the word jealousy even if we are, because it's a normal term that we use rather than using envy. So we experience jealousy because we want something, we aspire to have something that we have not achieved. So it also conveys that you have not succeeded at something, that's making you jealous. It also at the same time says that you are ambitious. If you wouldn't want something, you wouldn't feel jealous about it, right?
As you said, jealousy is also a catabolic emotion and it certainly has impact on our health. So what happens exactly when someone gets jealous, or maybe they are jealous most of the time, has become part of who they are?
Yeah.
What exactly happens health wise?
Yeah. So, like anger, jealousy also puts us in stress. And, like I mentioned earlier, whenever we get stressed, cortisol hormone is released in the blood, and that makes us experience high blood pressure and heart rate increases. And if you are experiencing these symptoms for a long time, you could be risk at so many heart diseases, and digestive system gets disrupted. Not only that, if you are a perpetual jealous person and you are living in envy, it can give rise to so many autoimmune diseases. Also, it could lead to some form of cancers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And this is not something I am saying. There is a lot of research. In fact, I am going to link some of the resources that people can study because I am very serious about this topic. And we feel like, it is just normal. And sometimes it even goes unnoticed that we are experiencing jealousy or envy with people. I have heard many people say this: I never drink or never smoke, and still, I feel sick all the time, and even cancer is happening to people whereas they don't have any bad habit. So these kind of small things which we do not notice, don't pay attention to, might be cause of something big and bad happening to you in the future, god forbid.
Shirin, that is extremely sensitive, what you just said. Jealousy, you're right, we often don't even pay attention to, and some people make it a habit, and they go on living like that many years, and then this emotion giving rise to major autoimmune diseases, that's extremely dangerous, and I think we should pay attention to that. But also I'm thinking it is an organic feeling, okay? Anger or maybe jealousy, envy, this is an organic feeling. So how one can control it?
Yes, feeling jealousy is very organic and it comes in a flash, right? It's not like you plan to be jealous, but if you hear something, you see something, and you experience jealousy, it's very natural. It's understandable. But you have to keep in mind that nature has a way to balance out things. So, oftentimes, what happens is when you see something good in other person, or some person has bought something, a luxury car, maybe a diamond ring or whatever, you just look at lack of it in you and with you. So you are like, I don't have those things, and that makes you jealous. But if you practice gratitude, where you are counting the blessings that you have, because it is given that nature has a way to balance out the assets, balance out people. Not everyone has everything. I would rather say, in my opinion, everyone has everything. I would not say you
Yeah.
lack something, but even you have everything.
Right.
But you have to make most of it, you have to work for it, and you have to make your dreams come true as well. So practicing gratitude and working towards your own goals and being involved in setting your own goals will I mean, you will be busy in doing those things. Obviously, you would not have time to look at other people and be jealous of them.
Shireen, good point. We need to count our blessings, okay? And it is something very intentional that we control our mind from getting jealous, okay? That is about us. When it comes to ourselves, we can
Yeah.
control it. But what about other people? Because this is also another problem that we often see other people getting jealous of us.
Yeah.
So, how do you think we can control that?
It is funny because recently I heard something on social media from someone I always thought is a thought leader in today's day and age, and for whom I have a lot of respect. Okay, I don't want to name the name. That even if you experience small hint of jealousy in other people, you should discard them immediately. It makes me feel very sad because jealousy is an emotion which everyone has. So jealousy is an emotion everyone experiences. Show me one person who does not have jealousy. So if you cannot be completely jealousy free, how can you expect other people to be jealousy free? And you can say to get rid of jealous people if they are, maybe they are strangers or they are your colleagues or they are like don't matter to you that much. But what about if that person who's experiencing jealousy is your family member, someone who you live with,
Yeah.
very much close to you and that you can't live without. So in that case, what would you do if you find jealous people? When you understand jealousy as an emotion, you will understand even why other people get jealous, and then you will be able to handle this emotion in a better way. Rather than being a hypocrite in this situation, you should understand, and in some way or the other you should try to help the person, because like I said, people are often feeling jealous because they have underlying feeling of inadequacy. So in some way, shape or form, if you can help people achieve and realize their goals as well, then I think we all can have a society where people experience jealousy very less often.
Yeah. So by understanding yourself first and making the other person understand later, you can kind of balance the emotion.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a very sensible solution. Okay, so this was about jealousy or envy and anger. Okay, both catabolic emotions.
Yeah.
Now, Shireen, let's discuss something which is more constructive. Okay.
Of course.
So by avoiding these two emotions, we can invite happiness in our life.
Of course.
We understood that.
And we can experience happiness immediately.
Yeah.
If you want to experiment, you can do it right away. The first episode you experience, as after listening to this podcast episode of anger, and you just follow whatever I said about like not reacting immediately and all of that, and you will see you experience happiness immediately.
Correct.
So here you are not investing even $1,
Yeah.
but you are developing a habit that will keep you happy and healthy from within.
Correct. Yes, awesome. Now, I would also like to understand the habits which we can develop, more habits, rather anabolic type of habits,
Yeah.
which would also lead us to happiness.
Of course.
This is it in today's episode. I hope you like it. Guys, these episodes we make out of so much love, and we strongly believe that these, whatever that we share might be able to help you in some or the other way. If you wish to continue to grow with us and don't want to miss even a single episode, please do subscribe our channel if you haven't done it yet. We are also there on audio platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcast. So if you are someone who is listening the podcast, please do go there and check us out. And we will be back next week. Okay, until then, keep working on yourself and stay fit.